Hi everybody, I am Mr. Poston. I wanted to kind of do an introductory little video for you guys. Just kind of what to expect and some things that I'm kind of looking at when I look at your work and how I kind of want you to present your work as we go through the summer and as we go into August and so forth. So first off, your work this summer is going to be done on like worksheets kind of like this, so you kind of see how the numbers are. Basically for these problems and things here, you just show your work in the area kind of below it. You can also kind of work to the side of it if you decide to print out these worksheets. If you don't, you'll be doing it on a sheet of paper, which is kind of what I've drawn on the board behind me. Now kind of give you some ideas and ways that I prefer work to be done, to keep things organized, to be able to follow your own work, and then I can also follow your work. So that's kind of the layout of this. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, it kind of goes like zigzag down the page. So kind of keep track of that. And if you're a printer, if you decide to do front and back, you can do front and back. Most of the work this summer, I believe, I try to keep to 2 pages. I think some might go to 3 pages. 20 problems or so. I try to make sure you have enough work or space to kind of show your work in it. And for some reason, you can't print out your paper, you don't have a printer, whatever the case may be, no big deal. You don't have to do it that way. You can go with a sheet of paper. So what I require, on a sheet of paper, this goes for when you're doing homework and anything during the school year, also through now, this time now, put your name in the top right-hand corner, I put my name, Mr. Poston. You can put the date and stuff below it, date. If you want to write, if it's homework, whatever, you can kind of title it here. So let's do adding integers. Let's say we're starting with that one, which is the first lesson of the summer. Adding integers, if it had chapter number or lesson number, you kind of put that in front, and then you kind of go from here. So a couple ways to do this, all right? Problem number 1, you can put a 1 here, you can circle it, do whatever you want to do. Put a number 1, write the problem. If it's a situation where it's a really long problem, it's a word problem, whatever the deal is, I'm gonna ask you to write the whole thing. But these problems and things are very easy to transfer over. Make sure you write the problem correctly, and then you can kind of focus on what you did here. So for this one, you would write your problem. Let's go -5 plus 2, That's our problem. Then what you need to do when you're showing your work, now as the summer goes on, the problems will become longer as we get into different topics and different concepts that we'll be learning. To start with, the lessons, there's not a lot of shown work to them, so it won't be too crazy. But let's pretend that this one had a lot of steps. So 2 different ways. You can show your work equals, and kind of working across the page horizontally, or if you'd rather, I'm more of a vertical, and you'll kind of see that as I kind of teach. I like to kind of teach things vertically, and I do things, let's just say, I don't know, plus 12 minus 19. Let's do something a little bit longer. I'll take these and I'll kind of work down this way, and I show my work, and then I show my work, and I kind of work down till I get my answer. Once you get your final answer, let's say it's 20. It's not, but let's say it is. I do want you to box or circle in your answers. This way, when I'm getting homework or you're taking pictures of your work through the summer, I can glance at a sheet of paper and I can find, oh, there's number 1, and there's the answer for number 1. I have some students in other classes, they like to maybe do the problem, work it out, and then they have they write answer, and then their answer is always over here. However you want to do it, however you like to organize it, I just want to make sure that it's clean, it's legible. I can find your work, I can follow your work. Try to show your work all together. Don't do work here and then work over here and then work over here. I have some students, not anymore because I've talked to them and they're trying to fix it. But I have some students, they'll do random math down the margin here or up in the top. Let's keep it all where it goes. If it's number 1, keep it with number 1. If it's number 2, keep it with number 2. Again, if you went horizontally instead of vertically, you had your answer over here, that's fine, circle or box it and then move on. Then here's number 2. If it's a homework assignment or an assignment that does not require a lot of work and you want to kind of do like this, 1, 2, 3, and then you want to make a second column, 4, 5, so that way you can kind of maybe save some paper or not have to write on the back of it. That's up to you. Just make sure it's pretty clear that there's a divide between the left and the right. Some students, they like to go ahead and draw another line to show you, hey, look, Mr. Poston, there's 2 columns. It's kind of up to you on how you want to do that. But the big thing, I want to make sure that you're writing legible, you're taking your time, you're showing your work, you're showing your steps. On homework and things moving forward, and especially in this kind of stuff this summer, if you're not showing these steps, the process on how you get there, you won't receive the credit, okay? When we get back to the classroom and we're working on tests and quizzes, that's different. If you're doing mental math and you're doing stuff, I'm here with you, I'm watching you. But at home, if I give you a problem like this and you just write an answer, number one, most of my work, let's see here, can I find one? Most of my work, I give you guys like answers and like an answer key to it where it has all the answers. Also, if it's from the textbook or anything like that, they'll have answers and stuff in the back. So that's fine. Check your work. I want to give you the answers so you can make sure you're doing it right. But if you're not showing me the in-between, that's when we have the issues, because I need to make sure that you know how to do this and that you know the steps. So when it comes time for you sitting in your seats and you're taking a quiz or a test, I know that you knew it, and hopefully you know it at that point. But if you're just writing a final answer and you're moving on and your answer just looks like this, 21, 13, -5. I mean, there's no shown work. There's nothing here. I'm not giving credit for this, okay? Because I need to know that you're doing it. And then I need to see your steps so I can make sure you're doing the right steps to get to the right answer. I'll have some students, they'll just write random numbers and then put the correct answer because they have the answer key, thinking I'm not going to check through it. I look through your work. I want to make sure we're doing this right. Because if you're not understanding pre-algebra, you're not going to understand algebra. So don't think that it's a situation where I'll do whatever I can and I'll figure it out later. Well, there's not going to be a later, because you need to know this for later. So I encourage you to show all your work, take notes on everything, box, circle all your answers in, put your name up in the corner. I mean, I'm hoping this is kind of a good visual of what I expect. If you're printing out the worksheets, there's already a spot for a name and date in the corner. There's the given space for the work kind of underneath. So kind of use that space for it. Keep it there. Don't put work for this problem all the way over here. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, I'm not going to be able to follow you. If you go back to look at your old work, you're not going to be able to follow yourself. So hope that makes sense. If you guys have any questions, always know that I am available via email. Shoot me an email with questions. I do receive those. I mentioned that in my email already sent out. I do receive emails on my phone. I always have my phone with me. If it's an emergency, I will be getting back to you. Otherwise, I will be responding during my office hours, which were in the email Tuesday and Thursdays. So look in the email for those. Other than that, hope you guys enjoy my videos this summer. Follow along, try to stay with me. If you can stay on my schedule every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks, we're doing 2 or 3 assignments, worksheets. It might seem like a lot, but if you really sit down and get to it, you have 14 days to do each kind of section. It's plenty of time. So I do ask you take your phone, or you take your parents' phone, or some sort of device that has a camera. When you finish your work, take a picture of it, okay? Take a picture of every page, every side, whatever it is, and then send them to me. If you're writing it on a sheet of paper, I need some sort of a title telling me what lesson it is that you did. So whenever I receive it, I can look over it, make sure you're doing it right, you're understanding it. Because if not, I'll be reaching out and we gotta make sure we figure it out. Because if you're not understanding, for example, adding integers, you're not gonna be ready for subtracting integers. And then you won't be ready for when we start doing order of operations with integers. So it snowballs. So we need to make sure that we're ready for this. Also, send me those emails. I get those. I look over them. I'll probably do that during my office hours and let you guys know if anybody's behind on anything. But if you stay with me on the schedule, you'll be doing a little bit of math throughout the whole summer, and it will go right up into should be the start of school. So once we start school, everything's still kind of fresh in your mind because you've been working on it. Please don't be the student that waits till the last week and try to cram all of this in, because I promise you it's going to be nearly impossible. Okay, so I want to make sure, and if for some reason I'm not getting it after the 2 weeks, I'll be reaching out, making sure you're okay, making sure you don't need help. So don't think you'll kind of dodge it, because again, this is required. We need to know this material moving forward for in August. So again, thank you. Look forward to the videos. Follow along. Let me know if you have questions on things. Take some notes, and good luck.